Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well and everything is fine with you. So, we'll get started with a few points that I want to discuss with you in regards to the upcoming written exam that you all guys have. All right. And because it's very important how you go about the exam as well. It's not only about preparing for the exam, it's about how you cope up with the 2 days of the exam that you have, because you might be very well prepared, but if your performance is not up to the mark on those 2 days where it actually matters, then it will be difficult for you to achieve success. All right. So, this video, of course, wishing you all the best, but certain things and certain points that you need to take into consideration to make sure that you give your best for the 4 papers of the written exam that you have. All right. And that's what I will be doing in this video to help you go through certain important things, important topics, important points, which does make a lot of influence towards the outcome of your exam. All right. So please make sure that you do watch this video very carefully so that it helps you cope up with certain things, cope up with stress, cope up with the exam environment in a better way. All right. So let's get started. All right. The first important thing is that you see, all of you are prepared for this exam. All right. It's not that candidates go for this exam without any preparation, and you guys have been preparing for a long time. And now it's time for you to show your preparation in the form of success in the exam. All right. So we do understand the course content is quite extensive. All right. We did conduct a lot of mock exams. There were a lot of course content mock exams, portal mock exams, live mock exams. A lot of discussions were conducted, Zoom sessions, question answer sessions. A lot of doubts were clarified. All right. But keeping all these things aside, the exam environment is a bit different compared to when you do the mock exams or the live mock exams, because during the mock exams, you are sitting on a chair, in a sofa, in the comfortable environment of your home. In the exam, things are a bit different, okay? Because in the exam, the most important thing that you have in mind is how to pass the exam. And that adds to a lot of stress, okay? So candidates who have been preparing with the academy, they know where they stand. You know how much time you have dedicated towards your preparation. That's the reason why we always recommend starting your preparation as soon as possible, because the preparation is the most important thing that you can do for this exam. And starting early becomes even more important, especially for candidates who are working, who have life commitments, work commitments, those who have children. It becomes very, very important to dedicate time on daily basis towards this preparation of the ADC, because of course, as you all know, this is not new to you. The exams are not easy. It requires a high level of preparation, a high level of dedication towards your success. All right. Now, because the thing with ADC is that your mind needs to be ready. At times, you will feel that you're preparing and going through the content, reading materials, reading articles, reading textbooks, doing the mock exams, but you don't understand all this time your mind is getting ready for the exam. Because with ADC, your mind needs to be ready. Your brain gets equipped with knowledge with time. And this doesn't happen in 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 2 months. It requires a constant dedication, a constant preparation pathway, a constant preparation journey. And unlike the old pattern, which had the MCQs, the new pattern, which is SBQs, it's even more tough. But by tough, it does not mean that it cannot be done. Hundreds and thousands of candidates from our academy itself has done it. So there is nothing that should be stopping you from success. All right. And from a mentor point of view, of course, you see, there is nothing more rewarding for a mentor than to see the candidates excel in their exam. That's what we want for each and every candidate who enrolls in our course, or those candidates who are not even in our course and preparing for the ADC journey. Uh, the only thing that we want to see is candidates achieving success in the written exam as well as the practical, and then getting a becoming a registered dentist in Australia. That's what we want all the candidates to be at as their final position. Okay. Now, certain things with respect to the exam, make sure that you have adequate rest and sleep. All right. That's very, very important. Don't stay late at night reading materials, reading content, because your mind needs to be very fresh. All the preparation that you have been doing all these months, it requires a fresh brain to remember all those things. So make sure that you sleep at a comfortable time, not too early, not too late, at a comfortable time, so that your mind is fresh on the day of the exam. Have adequate breakfast. You have a break in between the two papers. Make sure that you hydrate yourself, have some snacks so that you can have adequate energy for the remaining papers that you have on that day. Now, during the exam, let's say that you are not sure about a particular question. You always have an option to flag the question so that you can come back to the same question later on. But what I would suggest is that when you flag the question, make sure that you at least answer it before flagging it. What this does is that, let's say when you're done with the exam, you might not have sufficient time to go through all the flagged questions. So if you have already answered it, which might be potentially the correct answer, so if you have already answered it, it's always the best, right? Because let's say you don't have time to go through all the flag question, but if you have already answered all the flag question and then flagged it, then you know that I have already answered it, which can be the correct answer as well. So don't just flag it, answer it, whatever you feel amongst the option is the correct one, answer it, and then flag it, okay? The other important thing, which I would like to emphasize particularly on, is that make sure that you read the question, even if it is repeated. Because the mock exams, the course content, the live mock exam, the discussion sessions, the live question discussions, the past questions collection we have, there is a huge possibility a lot of questions will be repeated in the exam. But even though if they are repeated, make sure that you read them very carefully. Because sometimes what happens is that ADC, although the questions are repeated, they change the frame of the question. They include certain phrases which are not similar to the question that you already had in the course. So make sure that you read very carefully. Look for wordings and phrases like none of the above, all of the above, except, most useful, initial, definitive, because these words actually determine what will be the right option of the answer. So don't just blindly read the question and skip to the answers. Make sure that you read carefully and know exactly what the question is asking. Because a lot of candidates, when they fail the exam, they realize that the question was asking actually for certain different aspect compared to what I have answered it for. So make sure that you read very carefully. Don't worry about new questions because the theme is going to be the same. Okay. Read it very carefully. Like I said, ADC will change question. They might introduce new question, but that is nothing, something that should be, confusing you or keeping you away from success. Even though the questions might be new certain times, the theme will be the same. So make sure you read it carefully, go through all the questions, the medical history, medication, the investigation result that they've given, and most importantly, what that question is asking you in regards to the case data that I have given you in the case itself. All right. Now, don't worry if you don't know an answer to some questions because 1 to 2 questions or few questions doesn't affect your score. Carry on and give your best because it's a paper, it's a cluster-based exam. It's not a paper-based exam. So even if you're not able to perform well in 1 paper or 2 paper, that does not mean that you will fail the exam. We have seen a lot of successful candidates from our academy itself who have passed the exam and they have mentioned that they got this question wrong, this question wrong. They were not able to perform well in this paper, but they still managed to pass the exam. Why? Is because it's a cluster-based exam. Your outcome is not determined based on how you perform in a particular paper. It is determined on how you perform overall in the cluster. All right. And the question for the clusters are included in all the 4 papers. Okay. At times, what you will feel is, let's say you have a question and you feel all the options are correct. Look for the best one amongst all the correct options. And the same goes for sometimes you will feel that all the options are wrong. In that case, look for the least wrong amongst all the wrong options. Okay, because ADC does this tricks and plays quite often. and make sure that you don't get trapped into these strategies. All right. After this first day of the exam, go for the second day with full focus. Like I just said, that it's a cluster-based exam. So if you are not, let's say, able to do well on the first day of the exam or any particular day or any particular paper of the exam, that is something that should not be holding you back. You should go for the next day with the same enthusiasm and energy that you had for the first day and give your best. Okay, because after the exam, you have 4 to 6 weeks to think until the exam. But during that exam, the 2 days that you have, that's where you have to show and prove yourself. So don't get yourself carried away with these little things which can affect your performance on those 2 days of the exam. During the exam, please, and please, again, I'm mentioning during the exam, don't worry about pass fail, pass percentage, first or second attempt. All these things don't matter at all. Like I said, it's your performance on those 2 days of the exam which determines your score. So make sure that you give your best and don't worry about whether it's your first attempt, second attempt. Maybe you'll see some candidates attempting the exam for the second time, third time, fourth time. This all should not influence you. The Academy has a very good track record of first-time successful candidates, and you can watch it on our website, on our Facebook page. So if they can do it, you definitely can do it. Don't have this impression in your mind, the exam is difficult, I'm the first timer, I can't do it. You definitely can, and you will, all right? During the exam, don't unnecessarily talk to candidates in the break, okay? Because you have a break. So don't unnecessarily talk to the candidates, discuss question, get sad about an answer you knew, because this all does not matter to you in any way. Because the next thing that you need to be focusing on is the paper that you have next. What has happened has happened. Give your best for all the 4 papers with the same energy, with the same confidence. After the exam, like I said, you have 4 to 6 weeks to think what you have done. So during the exam, please don't get carried away with these thoughts in your brain. All right. You know everything. Keep things simple. Don't unnecessarily overcomplicate. You have been exposed to a lot of questions. It's the first time the Academy conducted the highest number of the mock exams. You have been exposed to more than 5,000 scenario-based questions. So you know everything. You will feel that you don't know anything. That's normal. That happens to everyone. But that does not mean that you don't really know everything. Once you get started, once you go through the questions, once you sit the exam, once you start attempting the exam, you will know that you are well equipped and well prepared to ace the exam. Okay. You all will pass. Believe in yourself and your capabilities. It's your journey. Make it worth it. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't do it. You will see certain candidates in the exam in your center, they will tell you the exam is hard, it's my second time, it's my fifth time, it's my fourth time, it's my third time. Don't listen to anyone, okay? It's your journey. You have been preparing, you have been dedicating time, and God will reward you for that, okay? So that's what you should be thinking, and you can ace the exam. Don't listen to anyone. Their journey is their journey. Your journey is your journey. If someone can pass the exam in first attempt, you can. If one can pass, you should be the one. If 10 can pass, you should be amongst those 10. If 100 pass, you should be amongst those 100. That is what your belief should be. Okay. And you have already seen possibly in the Academy's website, the Facebook page, other platforms, the candidates who have passed in the last 5 years, 10 years, they were just like you. All right. So if they can do it, you definitely can. Okay. And we wish you all the best for your exam. We wish all the candidates sitting for the exam, you ace the exam with flying colors, with flying grades in all the cluster. All the best. It was love knowing you all and eager to help you ace the next part, which is the practical exam. I wish all of you clear the exam and join me for your next journey so we can help you get registered in Australia as a practicing dentist. All right. Thank you and all the best.